Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 rebuild video. Now, it's been a second because I completely underestimated how soon Halloween was. Like, I just had like a bunch of ideas I was gonna do for this season, but like I say this almost every single video. I was completely swamped with the applications for jobs, so I was like, that is my main priority, so that's what I'm supposed to do first. But now I'm finding out that Halloween is on Thursday, and I still have so many stuff I need to get out, so I had to really pick and choose what I want to be committed to. So that is why you had an upload yesterday, which is one of my favorite uploads ever, and you've got an upload today, and you have an upload tomorrow or today, and then you have an upload on Thursday itself, and then you have an upload on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and it's just going to be like every single day this week, because the Life and Death pack also comes out this week. Like, everything's just been happening so quickly. So yeah, it's the Life and Death pack has also been coming out this week, so it was just like so many things are going on, so I just kind of need to get on it. For the past 4 days I haven't applied for jobs just because I've been reading them and I've been becoming so like just, oh, that's a lot. But I think the mentality is just do it. Like, just don't even think about it too seriously. Just do it. So I'm going to try and get really back on that tomorrow, because the good thing about tomorrow's build is that compared to this build, I have finished tomorrow's upload. So all I have to do is the cinematic intro and, tour. The only problem is that it is a CC build, so I will need to get all the CC done, and I do use quite a bit of CC in that build, just because I'm gonna give you a little spoiler. It's not even a little spoiler, it's just a blatant spoiler. I've done I can't call it in New York. I guess it is in New York. I did a San Marino penthouse, and I don't think I've ever done that before because I hate doing penthouses. But I did a San Marino penthouse because I was just inspired about, I've been playing a lot with my celebrity saver, which is also another thing I've been doing. If I'm not applying for jobs, I've been reading, or I've just been playing The Sims for leisure, or just building for leisure. Like, it's so weird, but like, I'm enjoying the luxuries of it all. So it is a New York penthouse that's going to be coming out tomorrow. And I do use quite a lot of CC because I did a lot of CC shopping. I'm obviously not financially able to do any actual shopping for any type of house I own because I don't own one. But my room in my parents' house is far too small for me to do the grandiose things that I want to do. So it's just like, okay, I'm not going to be financially unstable if I do this. So why don't I do it a CC shopping? And I found a creator called, I think it's called BBY Girl, Baby Girl. And it's just like, I was like, I really love this stuff. So I downloaded almost everything. And I just went to town. I did it in a style where it's like full, but it's kind of like that rich kind of, that aesthetic you will see on maybe like TikTok kind of full aesthetic, like white pumpkins and gray pumpkins, that kind of vibe, rather than like this house I'm making, for example, which is just very blatantly carvings of orange pumpkins. But enough of the videos that are coming up. Let me talk about the video that's going on right now. Now, the video that's going on right now, I've always wanted to do a minimalistic Gothic house. I've been planning this since, I think, last year. The initial time I did it in the world we got with Sims 4 Vampires. And it came out okay, but it just wasn't my style anymore. And I left it in my backlog for far too long. So when I came back to it, I was just like, I don't like it. So I decided to redo this one in the style of, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find the Pinterest photo that I was inspired off of. But I saw this one Pinterest photo and I was like, this is absolutely beautiful. I want to try this out. Because one thing is that I have gone through Pinterest and I've looked through houses, and the thing is so difficult to do a house on The Sims that is 1-to-1 with a house you see on Pinterest, because the house may seem like big on the exterior, but the interior is quite small and it's not as grandiose as you would expect, or it is grandiose, but in the floor plan it's just going to be very, very awkward, because that's not how houses are. Houses do not have the same level of thinness as the walls have in The Sims, so it can create like odd like areas within the house. And I think one of the pinnacle things that I can think of is that one thing that if somehow The Sims can find a way to do this, I'll absolutely love them, is to have those hollow carvings of the archways. So I don't want to use an actual archway. I want a hollow carving of an archway. And I feel like I could potentially maybe replicate it with CC, but I want to be able to do it in the actual game itself, because I am obsessed. And apparently I'm already doing all of the, what do you call it, debug area. And if you're thinking, oh, you've got the tags on your build bar, is your build bar working? No, at the moment I'm still patiently waiting for Twisted Mexi to update better build bar. And tool, I think that was another reason why I was just like, because I had to finish doing the bedrooms, and I hate doing bedrooms, as you guys know. I hate doing interior design full stop, but I hate doing bedrooms amongst anything else. So I was like, okay, maybe I can wait until the mod is updated. And then I was like, you know what? I used to do this. I used to be this girl. I only got the better build by mod in January, and I've been around since August last year. So I used to be someone who can build without accidentally put in CC. But before, the challenge was that I accidentally put CC in my game. I think this time around that wasn't the issue. The issue this time around is that I was tempted. I was seeing all these beautiful things I could use as a substitute for the in-game stuff, and I was so tempted. I was like, oh, I just want that. I want it. I think the biggest issue for me, when it came to doing the beds. And I think even with CC, I still struggle with beds. I feel like there's just so many different varieties that we don't have in terms of beds. And if one day, not if, when we manifest, we speak it into existence, when I do get a better computer for gaming and other film-centered stuff, I will try and learn Blender, because I do want to create my own CC, especially when I discovered Baby Girl's channel. It just sounds kind of just right now calling people Baby Girl. That is not my niche. But when I discovered the creators channel, the creators Patreon, I was like, this is like a style I like, and I feel like I could potentially, not because it looked easy, it did not look easy, but it was more of like, they seemed like someone who used to create a lot of builds, and then they just kind of expanded into creating CC. And that's kind of what I want to do, because I have so many ideas for CC. I would love to do mods, but the upkeep for mods is far more strenuous than it is for CC, i.e. the better build by mod. Like, I couldn't imagine having to constantly be up to date with what goes on in The Sims and constantly update that. Like, I'll just be like, I'm tired, leave me alone. But yeah, that's why I think we should all just like really like challenge patience when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, it just sounds like so much upkeep. So I was like, even like the UI, was it the UI? No, it wasn't. It was the XML injector. Even that broke in the latest patch, and that was crazy because that thing never breaks. A lot of people were talking about it, but one thing, do you know what I've noticed before I really get into the video? And what I've created is that I've noticed that I'm not able to transfer Sims properly as the move. So for example, if I click split household, it only allows me to travel with my specific Sim, but another Sim can't tag along with me. This is something I only noticed in the recent patch. So I went onto Google and I searched up, is anyone else having this issue? And apparently a lot of console players and a lot of other people who don't use mods, because I did not want to risk taking out my mods, because when I do put my mods back in, sometimes they don't place back where they were supposed to be. Sometimes the Sims just likes to add things in replacement of my mods, and then it gets really annoying to try and like put the mods back onto my Sims, go back into the houses. So I didn't take out I should take it out, but I didn't take it out to play. And so I didn't truly test if it was my mods, but when I went online, a lot of people were saying that I'm a console player, I don't even play with mods, and this is becoming an issue. So I think that is a bug that is, that's starting to happen. But the way I go around it is that if you guys have the UI extension, or you type in a certain cheat onto your game, you are able to click on a sim and click add to household, right? So what you should do is that if you're struggling to get the sim to move out, make sure that if you want to start a family, make sure you start your family in the new house. So for example, I was trying to get one of my kids to move out with their wife, but it was becoming like a really big issue. So the way I went about it is that I got the kid, the initial sim that you want will be able to move out. But if you transfer them back into the household and try and transfer them back into a new household, that's where the issue lies. So what I decided to do is that I moved my sim out alone by themselves into the new house, and then I flighted over the wife to the new house, and then I shift clicked after already having enabled mods on, and I clicked the option that says add to family, and then that's how I was able to move them into the new house. But I can understand I don't understand truly how it works for console players, so I can't tell you how to move around that, but that's how I went about it. And it was it's a bit more of a trickier process, and it would be worse if I had kids, because then I wouldn't have to invite the kids over and individually add them to the household. But again, with PC, it's quite simple. I can't imagine how much more difficult this could be if I was playing on console. So again, I'm so sorry, console players. But yeah, that's the only issue I found with the new update. But I do believe my game is running better. I think it's running to the extent that maybe a few more patch updates, I could potentially do it. Let's play. What I was also thinking, and I want to know if you guys are interested, is that I want to do a let's play on Life and Death pack. And I've got this whole idea going on, but I want you guys to tell me if you're interested in that, because I've already got quite a few builds in mind for it. Like, I could potentially do so many builds that I end up like remaking the entirety of the world, which I found out recently is inspired off of Romania. So that is such a cool aspect. I used to have a work colleague from Romania. I feel tempted to message them right now and be like, hey, we've got a world in my favorite, because everyone knows I love The Sims. Everyone knows I love The Sims. And I feel like she'll be like, oh my God, they've got Romania. That's so cool. And because I can't imagine how cool that is the first ever time I've saved the game in the middle of me recording. Anyway, I cannot imagine how cool it is to have your home country represented in a way that your home country is never represented. Like, I know that when we got Henford or Bagley, that it was a really cool concept for a lot of British players, because a lot of the time the Sims in entirety of the franchise has never really represented England like that, especially like England in that aesthetic, whereas I kind of like, again, Yorkshire style. But again, England is represented in a lot of different types of media. Like, for example, in that My Yorkshire Village videos that you should totally watch, I do describe Harry Potter, which is one of the biggest British mediums we've ever had. And then obviously my favorite TV show of all time is Doctor Who. Again, very British centric. So Britain may not be like explored that much in the Sims franchise, but it is something that is quite avidly explored within the entirety of media. And I could say the same with, for example, New York, or what else has been explored within The Sims that I can't think at the moment. But there are other worlds in The Sims that are not explored as much within the grander media scope, except for within the base countries such as Mexico. We don't really see much of Mexico, and when we do see little aspects of Mexico, it's normally in the Western perspective, where they see it as a not comparable to like either America or England. They see it as a place where there is just crime or something, or it's just this hot place where we can do dealers. It's never described in quite a plain light as America is. There's always like an insinuation to it. There's always a generalization to it. So that is something that was a really cool aspect within The Sims 4. And I can imagine that representation was really interesting for anyone who's ever lived in Mexico. And I think that's but I think that even is expanded beyond when it comes to Romania, because really a lot of media doesn't talk about Romania except for like occasional supernatural stuff. But that's about it. And a lot of people do not talk about Romania. And I think it's, really cool that we're exploring that kind of form. And it's just really interesting, especially with the entire supernatural front that comes with Romania and everything like that. So I think it's just such a cool it's just a cool country and a unique country for The Sims to explore, because they don't normally do that. They just kind of occasionally think, oh, one Latin country here, one Southeast Asian country here, and that's about it. But I think that's really cool. I think again it'll be really interesting for the next pack, whatever it comes out to be something inspired from a country within Africa, specifically sub-Saharan Africa, just because in The Sims 3 we did get Egypt. And I know Egypt is not the overall representation of North Africa, but we normally do see some representation or some dialogue regarding North Africa. So I know a lot of people talk about Morocco and a lot of people talk about Egypt, but sub-Saharan Africa, the light that I normally see within media is again similar to the light I see within Mexico. It's got an insinuation surrounding it. It's never truly as plain or as generic as the other countries are. I can speak, like, for example, I'm from Zimbabwe. I was born in Zimbabwe. And you do not hear about that country unless someone's talking about inflation. You will not hear about the country. I think that if I say Zimbabwe, the first two things people think of is, one, the first ever president was called President Banana. And then two, we had inflation to the point you needed a barrel to buy bread. And I think that's the only things that go with Zimbabwe. And yeah, it is an aspect of Zimbabwe, but it's not the entirety. And I don't expect there to ever be an expansion pack based off of Zimbabwe, because I feel like there are other stylistic countries that they may go for, like maybe South Africa or maybe Nigeria. I feel like if they were going to go into that route of doing Sub-Sahara, they would do the more popular ones like Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa before they go down to Zimbabwe. So I'm not expecting Zimbabwe. I don't think Zimbabwe ever come down anytime soon, but it'll still be really cool to see stuff like that. But anyways, I got real distracted with that. But yeah, I'm just going to round off my point. Would you guys be interested in seeing me do a Let's Play? Because the way my game is running, yeah, it crashes sometimes. But the way my game is running, if you guys are interested in that sort of thing, I'll be so happy to oblige. I will be so happy to do that. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about this build a bit more. As we are getting closer and spooky season is ending and we are now turning into just full autumnal, and there's no longer going to be any sort of like, it's no longer going to be centered around Halloween or anything like that. I decided I would do my Halloween based stuff. So I was thinking of doing a lot of things. I wanted to do like a circus and stuff like that, like a spooky circus and maybe even a fairground. But again, I had to pick and choose what I had to do, and that ended up causing me to do this. So this house is placed within my celebrity save file. I told you guys recently in my pumpkin patch video that I've been basically transforming Chesnut Ridge into my Strangerville adjacent town, and I love to put all my celebrities in Strangerville. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I think that's why I'm just like so obsessed at the moment with my celebrity save file, and that's why I'm so obsessed with building here. And if you do recognize the Sims in the beginning, if you've been watching my channel for that long, one of the Sims is called Jace Apart. And Jace is a sim that I used for the Georgian apartment I built around about this time last year. The Georgian apartment building I built, it's just a girl that I absolutely hate because it was one bedroom, and I hate it when I build stuff as one bedroom, but I want to make a massive bedroom, but I don't want to make a massive house. But yeah. And then there's also the other sim, which is called Dylan German. She is the semi-used form of academia apartment building in South Machine, you know, the one that had like the green walls and everything like that. And yeah, they basically came together. She's a screenwriter. He's a Nepo baby. They came together, they had a child, and they moved to Chesnut Ridge, and this is their house. And I really, really love it. And it's going to disappoint me to take down the Halloween decorations as the time goes on with my game. I think I might just keep them. Because I play on short story mode anyways, so it's not going to make too much of a difference. So I believe I might just keep them. Because it just suits the vibe of this house. I just love it so much. It reminds me so much of all those houses in Calabasas in America where they just go all out with the Halloween decorations. And that's just kind of the vibe I wanted to recreate. And I really love how it came out. The only issue I have is that I do worry that the walls are a bit bare. I believe that hopefully we may get more stuff to put on the walls in the future, more stuff to like have around and things like that. But beyond that, I really love how it came out, and I hope you guys like it as well. I'm going to try and make sure the tray files are uploaded, not today, but tomorrow. And I'm going to try and upload the previous 3 builds tray files as well, because I know you guys have been asking for that, but yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all the comments, the more the merrier. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!